Would you rather start a new life and become legally married to someone the same day you meet them, or keep your relationship with the lead actress of your play a secret while you try to secure funding from a rich person?
Yeah, definitely the play thing, because that seems really worth my time. I want to tell a story about a Majorabbit.
I think you would be really good at
and a sitar player.
I don't know if you'd be good at like keeping your relationship a secret.
If it was you that I was marrying on the day that I met you, then yes.
Interesting. I don't know where to go with that, but I love that. Thank you so much. I don't think you would be really good at keeping your relationship a secret, though, from the wealthy guy. I think you'd be in trouble.
Well, I watched this fucking movie, and these idiots weren't either, so...
Yeah, you would be really good.
I guess you could cast me. Call me up, Baz.
Call me up, Baz. This is MK300. I'm Nina.
And I'm Korbin.
And we are tackling our watch list of 300 specially curated movies one at a time and talking about them. And today we're talking about Moulin Rouge.
He entered a world where fantasy is real, where he could be anything he wanted, and where he would discover the most dangerous temptation of all.
Come and get me, boys. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I believe you were expecting me.
Yes. Silly. Think you would fall in love with someone like me.
I can't fall in love with anyone and make men believe what they want to believe.
Never knew I could feel like this.
I believe in truth, freedom, and above all things, love.
Like I've never seen the sky.
You're gonna be bad for business. I can tell.
Roxanne!
I am willing to provide the financial resources to make you a star.
You don't have to wear that dress tonight.
I require a contract that binds Satine to me exclusively.
He could destroy everything.
I don't care. We have each other.
Make Christian believe you don't love him.
He'll fight for me.
Hurt him to save him.
Whatever happens, no matter how bad things get, we love one another.
Kill the boy.
Moulin Rouge! Exclamation point, Mina. Come on, you had your chance and you missed it.
Try it. You do it for me.
Moulin Rouge!
Why is it just the rouge that goes up?
Moulin Rouge. Sorry.
Ooh, the accent. Love it.
Of course, this is the 2001 jukebox musical Moulin Rouge, which was then adapted into the Broadway musical. This version was directed, produced, and written by none other than Baz Lurhmann, who we have talked about on this MK300 pod before when we discussed the great recutting of Australia into Fairway Downs. For a brief little intro, we're now officially doing a Baz Luhrmann movie. This one follows an English poet, Christian, played by Ewan McGregor, who falls in love with the star of the Moulin Rouge. Cabaret actress and courtesan, Satine, played by Nicole Kidman. The film uses the musical setting of the Montmartre quarter of Paris, and it is the final part of Luhrmann's Red Curtain trilogy, following Strictly Ballroom, Romeo plus Juliet, and of course, Moulin Rouge. Romeo plus Juliet is the way I'm saying that. It's the, Leo one.
Oh, that's the Leo one?
Yeah.
I didn't see that last part you just talked about. Had no idea that was a thing. So that's cool.
Again, I think it's similar to the Father Knows Best trilogy that we talked about, where Ang Lee, where it's like the movies aren't really connected, but they're kind of connected through a certain style and thematic world that Luhrmann is bringing to a lot of his movies. I mean, you can look at stuff like Elvis and The Great Gatsby and you compare it to this, and you can see that he is a filmmaker with a very distinct vision of how he sees the world and how he sees movies.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I have never seen Romeo plus Juliet. We weren't allowed to watch that one in school.
We specifically watched that one in school.
I don't know why.
There are guns, so could be that.
I don't remember why we didn't watch that, but we did watch the one that has actual sex in it, so that was weird.
This movie's on the list because... I'm just going to move on from that. I'm not even going to this movie's on the list because Letterboxd does a thing where they have 4 favorites, of course, and they compile into a list the most popular 4 favorites. So it's like, here are all the movies that most people pick as one of their favorite films. Okay. So we went through that list and we picked, and by we, I mean me, we picked 25 of those movies that neither of us had seen, and this is one of those 25. I hadn't seen this one. Had you?
I had seen pieces of it.
Right, yeah. For the most part, I assumed if I hadn't seen it, you probably hadn't either. And if you had, then we could rewatch. For
Letterboxd purposes, yeah, probably pretty accurate.
But does that surprise you that this movie pops up so frequently in the top 4s of people on Letterboxd?
I don't think so, actually. Like, I hadn't seen it all the way through, but I've heard this talked about a lot in my life and just with people I know, and it's not surprising. I think people like it.
It's like a property that people enjoy. I mean, people are fans of the Broadway play, obviously.
I think you have your really big fans. You have your people that are like, all right, I saw it. I can see why people like it. And then you have your people that despise it as things go. But I think it's just one of those IPs that sticks in people's brains. Like, you'd heard of it.
Yeah, and I think also, like, if you're a theater person who's into movies, so, like, that demographic of, like, people who are on Letterboxd but like theater, this is probably the movie that you're going to be like, whoa, it's big and it's boisterous and it's everything that a musical can be, but it's also, you know, it's a musical.
It's exactly what people wanted Mean Girls to do.
I don't know about
They wanted those Mean Girls actors to be way more into their songs going for it.
I was not thinking I want Mean Girls to be more like Moulin Rouge.
But as far as the performances go, they were going for it in this movie.
Mean Girls directed by Baz Luhrmann would be something.
Interesting. I'm not saying we need that. I'm just saying the performances, I'm going to sing this song like it's never been sung before. That's what people wanted. And that's what you got in this movie. So I think you're right. I think musical people loved this.
You've also got, Ewan right in the thick of Star Wars.
Love
Nicole Kidman, just, coming off a marriage to Tom Cruise, huge, is in a lot of, is a big star at this point.
I really liked their performances, honestly.
I think they're both great. I think they're both incredibly attractive in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think...
I would have never thought to pair them as a couple.
It is surprising.
And I think it works,
They do have chemistry. I agree with that.
I would never have put those 2 names in my head and been like, that would be a good couple. But, that actually worked out. And I think it was really fun to watch them want to be together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they work really well together. Something that I don't love about this, and I'll accept it in other movies, but in this one I'm just gonna not accept it. But it's just like I'm a shitty writer telling a story. I'm writing the story of this long lost love, and it's gonna be a tragedy. And
he's not a shitty writer, though.
Well, he is to me. I'm reading the story he's writing. It's not too great.
It's real life. What do you mean?
Exactly. He can't think of anything to write. He's got to tell this tragic story of the girl that wasted away. I don't know. I just don't like why does he have to be narrating it? Why can't we just see the events unfold?
No, I get that.
And also this movie feels so Great Gatsby in the same way, where it's like this guy who's drunk is writing a story and telling it, and it's like,
well, that's like most authors.
I know.
Is books that we've had to read. So
Baz keeps doing it.
He's letting the tradition live on, and I guess go for it, my guy. I don't know. Something I didn't like about this movie is I felt disoriented and dizzy throughout most of it. And as someone that does not need to feel that way more than I already do, I'm not a fan of that part. I didn't realize I was going to feel like I was spinning while watching this movie. I can't imagine being inebriated watching this movie.
Hey, talk to the absence fairy and see this movie, see what happens. We discuss sometimes you don't recognize directors, right? And
never.
But to me, Baz Luhrmann is always the guy I go to as an example of, do you want to see an impact a director has in a distinct style? Because you can look at it and be like, you can watch Elvis and be like, it is very clearly directed by the same person who directed this movie.
Like the Elvis that just came out?
Yes. Austin,
it makes sense.
Yeah, Austin Butler Elvis, because you see the camera zooming, to the Las Vegas sign in the same way that we see the camera CGI. It's just
and the way the
extravagance
light is used.
Oh yeah,
you feel like the spotlights are on. Like you could, so I now that you say it, visually I can put together what you're saying, but I would never remember this to tell you that.
Yeah, but it's just like I think it's a great example of the impact, and obviously there's extreme care that goes into the production design. I think this movie was nominated for 8 Oscars, which like while I do not like this movie, I think it is deserving. It is technically very impressive. The big thing that I really hate about it is the jukebox musical
You're not a fan
of that. I think it can work in some ways, but did you have a favorite song in this?
I don't.
Did you have a high? Because I had a low, and it was when they started when Smells Like Teen Spirit hit me, and it's pretty early in the movie.
That felt like a weird thing to throw in, but in general, when it comes to movie musicals, I'm a bigger fan of original music. But I do like jukebox musicals for the simple fact that the first time watching, you are able to sing along and feel like you know what's happening.
And I mean, it's like these are good songs. Like, like David Bowie can write good music. Like, I'm glad it's not just like shitty Broadway music only, but they're performing it.
You can't just say shitty Broadway music.
Okay, like some of those Mean Girls songs are a little rough.
That's fine. You can say that. Be specific, mister, because there are some really fantastic Broadway songs, and we don't need our film people or
it's just shitty covers.
Theater people to come for us, okay?
Yeah. Rest in peace to Kurt Cobain on that one.
Tough.
Yeah, I don't know who we blame for that.
I don't know. I don't know what my high was as far as the songs in this go, but I will say Teen Spirit Coming On was not one of them.
Something I wanted to share, and I've got it right here in the IMDb trivia facts. I mentioned the Absinthe Fairy. Just a wild moment in it. But apparently, Ozzy Osbourne was supposed to originally provide the vocals and like play the creature.
The movie would have been so much better. I love Ozzy. He's insane. The fact that man is still alive, crazy. Like, him being the Absinthe Fairy, I don't think there is a better character for Ozzy to play other than himself.
Yeah, I think it would have made things a lot better. I probably would have bumped it up a half star. Just for the record, this is the lowest rated movie thus far that we have watched on the MK300. I gave it 1.5 stars.
That's higher than I thought you were going to. Like, that's a half star higher than I thought you gave it. So
yeah, I was mostly just.
You're just also
really
not
bored.
A musical guy in general.
No,
so
I'm
it
not.
Already was taking a hit for that.
That is a big thing. I'm already predisposed to not like it, so it has to do enough to get me to buy in or to give it a chance. And it was just everything was just digging the hole deeper.
Yeah, I will say though, I can see why this was then adapted to be on stage. I think
it does feel weird that this was a movie first.
For some reason, I genuinely thought it was a play first. Mm-hmm. And so then I was really confused by all of the jukebox aspect of it.
Right.
But no, and I think it probably does better on stage.
Probably, yeah.
Because I think in general...
It won't be as motion sick.
Well, that's
the camera
true.
can't.
But in general, I think the feats that happen on stage for stuff like this, like sets and what you're doing and stuff, is far more interesting to me because you're doing that in the moment. If you fuck up, you just fucked up in front of everybody and they don't get that back.
It's true.
Like, it's one take, you gotta go. And I think it's more interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. And it would add to the performance, like, because there's obviously like big set pieces in this that are like supposed to be them performing an actual musical or play, and like just getting to see all that design and costuming in person would be really cool.
It's on my list to go see while we still live here, so you can come with if you want.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
We can do that as our date night. We won't watch this again though.
I'll consider it. Is this a good date movie?
I think if inherently you two are theater people, it is. I think it's a bold choice to pick if you aren't into musicals or movie musicals.
Yeah, I mean it's got a lot of emotion. It's got a lot of energy. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of like chemistry there between.
It's what I would
McGregor.
give.
Like it's
if you like movie musicals, it's what I'd pick for like a rom-com situation, like a romantic.
It is
situation.
Depressing though.
Yeah.
Rip. Well, thank you guys for listening to this episode. And we'll catch catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the episode. You can follow the rest of our happenings over here at Cody and Korbin Have a Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Cat Podcasts, KHAPODCAST. Please follow us on Spotify, give us a rating, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow along for more.